Okay, good evening. I hope all of you. I hope you guys can hear me. Uh, just please raise your hand so that I could get to know if you can hear me.
Yeah, hi Dan. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm not sure if you're able to hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're cutting off sometimes.
Okay, so I think my network is not very stable.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just want to take this opportunity to welcome everybody to the meeting. And I want to introduce our first speaker, who is Charles Wadsworth. And Charles is a Diamond Sapphire manager, is a level up qualifier, is an Eagle and CB qualifier, top 3 in Scandinavia, and former GLT member, and on his way to getting back to GLT. Charles is also an amazing trainer and one of the top leaders in the Scandinavian region. So Charles is going to take us through the first part of this session, and then later on we'll have Ashad doing a training. So welcome, Charles.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Dan. Lovely to be able to connect with all of you and together with Arshad for this session online on Zoom with you guys. Are you all keeping fine? Doing good? Comment in the chat, please. And also, I would like for you to write down in the chat right now, what's your strongest why for succeeding with Forever Living? What is your strongest why for succeeding with Forever Living? Please comment in the chat, please. So here we go, financial freedom. The chat is not able to. So Patricia's written financial freedom. Anybody else? What is your strongest why to succeed with Forever Living? Asha, do you see if there are more comments in the chat, or is it just my computer that's hung up? Muted.
Yeah, I see that there are some messages that are hung up a little bit here. Let me see. There you go. There's a new one just came in. Financial freedom.
I'm going to try to relocate my connection here. Okay, do you guys hear me now? Yeah? Is that better? Can you hear me now? Yeah?
Can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm just going to go move forward. So not to waste so much of the time. So thank you, Danny, for the nice introduction. I'm really pleased to be a part of this session as well and be a part of this group of kings and queens. I've been with the business this year actually for 24 years, and really grateful for all that I've been able to experience and achieve with this opportunity. But my ambitions are even higher now than ever before, because I believe that the needs around us in society and amongst people are even greater now than ever before with the solutions that we have to bring to the table. But first of all, before we can share something with other people, we need to achieve it ourselves, or at least be on the move towards achieving it ourselves, so that people can really believe in us. Because people do not believe in words alone. They want to see action. They want to see people acting on the possibility that they're sharing with other people. Now, the worst thing I know is when somebody gives me advice about something they haven't done, they're not doing or willing to do. So leadership is always about leading yourself first. And that's why I asked you, what's your biggest why in being a part of Forever Living? And when you write financial freedom, for example, right, that's a very big and small word at the same time, because what it contains, it's only up for you to define it. And if you don't define what financial freedom means, it just becomes another word, another sentence, another goal. And that doesn't really have a strong impact. So I want all of you to think about the following. If you are asked what your why is, you need to be able to explain that as detailed as possible, because the more detailed your why is, the more inscripted it becomes in our subconsciousness. And also it makes us move forward to act on those decisions or goals. If you don't define them very strongly, it just becomes a wish. And unfortunately, most people in the Forever Living world, in the network marketing world, in the world in general, they have goals, but they don't have goals that really impact their physiology or their mindset or their subconsciousness. It's just a wish. So we need to take it from there to this. And I just want to recommend a really good book while moving forward. Is the book by Simon Sinek that says, Start with Why. If you haven't read it, please read that or find it on YouTube. Simon Sinek, Start with Why. I can write it down here afterwards when I pass the word on. So you say financial freedom. Now, in Kenya, in Uganda, in many of the Eastern African countries, the income that is needed to live a life is, how shall I say, it's obtainable in many ways, but with Forever Living, you can reach amazing amounts of income. Now, the other day, I had a conversation with the country manager of Tanzania, the operational manager of Tanzania. And I was told that in Tanzania, there's a population of 60 million people, and they have 120,000 FBOs, or Forever Business Owners, registered so far, which is nothing compared to the population of the country. And the onboarding fee is $100 to become a preferred customer, and it's about 1 million shillings, Tanzanian shillings, about $400 to become an FBO with 2 case credits. That was the numbers for Tanzania. It's quite similar with Kenya and Uganda as well. But what she told me is that the top earners there make between $10,000 to $15,000 per month. In that call that I had, one of the FBOs from my group who was connected on that call he easily leaned towards the limitation parts of that opportunity than the possibilities within it. So when you hear a number like that, you can either fall towards the preferred customer $100 that is needed to get on board, or you can tilt towards the fact that the top earners make between $10,000 to $15,000 per month, which is an amazing income to be in Tanzania. All right. So already there, when you hear those numbers, your mind or your thoughts, they tilt towards one side of one or other side. Is it towards the difficulties it might be in building a business, or towards the possibilities towards building a business? Because this is where some of the major shifts happen, and we've heard the sentence that says, where attention goes, energy flows. And when we focus on what we don't want, that's where our energy flows. When we focus on what we want, that's a whole different space. So I want you to focus on that energy, not the negative side of it. I also see here that my kids and my grandkids get good education, absolutely. But then again, to be able to offer them something greater than what they have today, we need to reach levels of results that enables us to give them those things. All right? And that's why I think Forever Living is a great tool to do that. Many, many years ago, I was involved in politics, and I learned this sentence from Mother Teresa that said she was asked whether she would join a demonstration against war. She immediately replied, "No, I don't want to." And the people who asked her, they were like, "But it's against war. You should join that, against war." But then she says, "If you have a demonstration for peace, then I would love to join you," which is a major way of thinking about things. We should invest our time, our lives, our thoughts, and relationships and efforts towards what we want more of, not against what we don't want. This is very crucial what I'm saying right now, because you need to align every area of your life in that one direction. Because if you're focused with Forever Living on creating wealth, but at the same time, your mindset has disbelief in the people that you meet, then you have a struggle. The negative will always conquer over the positive, unfortunately, when it comes to your mindset, because it's easy for the mind to repel towards negativity and being cautious than to being ambitious. So you need to align those areas of life. So, for example, if I asked you which areas in your life matter the most to you right now, when you think about that, you will have to put on paper those areas. For example, it can be your family, it can be your income, it can be the community that you're part of, it can be your health, it can be the value that you bring to other people. Because we all have areas in life that define our lives, which we think are really the most important things. And if we are not aware of that, then it's very easy that our lives are just a random day-to-day living. It doesn't give you any direction. So think about which areas mean the most to you in life. You have already touched finances in what you've written, and you've also written family or grandkids and the legacy about that, which is great. But then you have the health part of it. If your health is not good, then it gives a limp in your life circle. So you need to get everything aligned. And what I love about Forever Living is that Forever Living, I look at Forever Living as a tool where I can invest my time and effort into it to adjust those things that are not in the right space of what matters the most to me and get them aligned. So in that way, I get a circle, a wheel of life that rolls properly. Yeah. But to be able to do that, first you have to think about what's the most important areas for you in life. And then ask yourself the question, how can Forever Living be a part of bringing that to a level that helps me to have a way of moving forward with my life towards my goals that truly have a value to me? Because at the end, Arshad, myself, Dan, or any others in the company or in the organization, we can be highly motivated, highly driven, and we can, bring good spirit and motivate you and inspire you and everything. But at the end of the day, you are stuck with your thoughts. You're stuck with your decisions. You're stuck with your will to move forward or to make a move. And if you don't control that part of it, it doesn't matter how good the opportunity is, how good we are at motivating or inspiring, it all ends with you. So I really want you to take total responsibility in what goals you put in Forever Living, what values you add towards it, and how much time and effort you're willing to put into it to move forward. I think that's probably the most important thing I want to share with you this evening, because at the end, it's all up to you. You have to make that decision. And I know that Arshad and Danny, they're already devoted 100% and even more in walking together with you guys, running together with you guys. And it's been really inspiring for me to be in the group and to see all the moves that you're making, the new people coming in. It's really interesting to see how you guys are building on the system that you've impacted already, to move forward with being 4CC active, being 4CC active before the 15th of the month, being able to onboard people with the starter pack, with the combo pack, with the 2CCs, pushing forward with that. You're creating a culture and you're creating a system which is going to be very crucial moving forward, because if you don't have a system to fall back on, you have nothing. There's no fundament. So I think that's a really good move that you're doing. And I think it's really interesting and very inspiring to see you guys do that in your day-to-day engagement with Forever Living. I'm not saying that it's easy, because if it was easy, then it wouldn't be worth it. It has to be hard. And Jim Rohn, some of you heard about him, he says, life is hard, choose your hard. No matter which way you take, no matter what you choose in life, there will be trials and tribulations. But it's better to have trials and tribulations that is of your choice than it's of somebody else's choice for you. I stand stronger in some decisions that I make than decisions other people make for me. And I think that's where the opportunity with Forever Living really stands out, because I do not know of any other opportunity in this industry like Forever Living that truly allows us to build something that's in our own premises. And to end my session so far, I just want to say that when we were in France, in Paris, with Forever Living, that was last year or the year before, at the Global Rally, Greg Mon was on stage in front of 14,000 people from all over the world, and he said that we have the most generous marketing plan in this industry. And we are number one. The second one is Herbalife, and they are 11% behind Forever Living in their payouts, which is quite huge. And to have an owner say that on a public stage, on a global stage, proves that we have the most generous marketing plan in the world, which means that there are no other companies in this industry, valid companies. There are a lot of scams and pyramid schemes and stuff like that that might promise you higher income, but there are no valid opportunities on the market than Forever Living that pays as much as we do, with the freedom to choose as we have in this opportunity. So I always tell people that if you're going to choose network marketing, if you're going to choose a company, this is home. And I truly hope that all of you who are new with this group, all of you that have rejoined the business, truly understand and believe that we have the best opportunity. Because if we don't believe that, if we don't know that, then what we share is going to be colored by our doubts. And doubt is something you can really feel, even without words. And belief, the same way, can be felt and seen, even without words. So work on your inner belief, work on your why, have a very clear vision of that, and do it for yourself. Do it for you, do it for your family. Don't do it for your sponsor, your downline, your crossline, or your uplines. Do it for you. And then through that, you become a value to everybody else around you. But take care of yourself. That's the most important thing I want to share with you this evening. So Arshad, I'll leave the word to you, and I'll jump in later on if there's anything that I can share.
I was just realizing that I was speaking to myself, which is a good habit. But in this case, I think you guys need to hear what we're saying as well. Thanks so much, Charles. Really appreciate it. I've known Charles since I was 13 years old. And Charles, he knows me. He's known me since he was 15 years old. And the funny thing is that we as kids spoke about everything that we want to achieve in our lives. And I'm so grateful that we actually experienced so much and experiencing so much right now, and then also looking forward to everything that we're going to achieve in the future. It's amazing. You're 50 now, Charles. That's crazy. I am soon to be 48, and it's amazing to live our dreams together, as a unity, as best buddies. That's amazing. I'm so grateful. Thank you again for stepping up and being a part of this as well. Always inspiring. I mean, I've listened to Charles so many times. You can imagine how many times I've listened to Charles. I've traveled a lot with him. I have, we have done a lot of stuff together, but he still has that ability to inspire me in a very, very deep way. Thank you so much, Charles. So, Dan, are you here?
Yep.
All right. Oh, there you go, Dan. Hi. Dan, I just wanted to say thank you for setting up this meeting. I'm going to pull up my presentation. I have a presentation for you guys. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
All right. All right, guys. So, I mean, there's a lot of people who know me, but, you don't know me very well. I'm Dan's sponsor. I'm so grateful and privileged to be Dan's sponsor. We've known each other for a long time, but we met each other properly more than a year ago, and we decided to do this together. And we're so grateful for that. So my name is Arshad Amit. I'm 47 years old. I'm married, have 3 kids. Funny thing is, all of our kids none of our kids were born when we started with Forever. So they actually were born and grew up in this industry. And also my oldest just joined like a couple of years ago, joined the business and made supervisor. And she's also in the business. People always ask me, Arshad, you probably have business background and you probably have financial background and all that. I say, no, I'm an educated teacher in arts and culture. That's my background. I've been in Forever full-time since May 2003. I'm a Diamond Sapphire manager, done chairman's bonus a couple of times, car plan. And I truly believe I work with Forever today, and I really want to put in the next gear and build Africa. Hopefully, and I know with you guys, that will be such a great, amazing journey. I work with Forever today because I know after 23 years in this industry, Forever is the absolute best opportunity on earth for a person who is seriously, that's really important, who is seriously willing to achieve their personal life goals. That is the reason I am here today with you guys. Okay, I want to be a part of this. I usually say the longest distance in life is the 15 centimeters between your ears. That is the longest distance. You can run 42 kilometers, which is a marathon, but the 42 kilometers is nothing compared to the 15 centimeters between your ears. Think about that for a second. So this business and anything in your life that you want to achieve, if it's financial freedom, like Charles asked you guys, if it's, funding your family, your grandchildren's education, or if you want to travel the world, or you want to be a part of something amazing, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Everything happens between the ears. That's it. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are, what your financial situation is, what your background is, it doesn't matter. What your skin tone is, it doesn't matter, right? What matters is the 15 centimeters between your ears. And the main ingredient for that is your ability to make a decision. And that's one of the main things that I want to talk to you about today, is that your ability to make a decision. And it applies to me as well, guys, right? But it's your ability to make a decision. It's going to determine your whole life. Charles said, focus on what you want. Here's the problem. Whatever you desire in your life, right? Whenever you dream of something, whenever you pinpoint what you want in your life, simultaneously, you also give birth to what you don't want. Actually, these two things go hand in hand. What you want is always simultaneously producing what you don't want, right? But in between what you want and what you don't want, in between that, there is a free space that God has given us. It's called the free will. Think about that, the free will. And this free will is your ability to make a decision. And my grandfather used to tell me when I was a kid, Arshad, you need to decide who you are. Decide who you are, not who you want to be, but who you are right now. Are you a person who is, because I used to be afraid to sleep alone as a kid, right? I always needed somebody around me. My grandfather said, have you decided that you're brave? That's a decision. It's not something that you're born with. It's something that you decide that you are, right? So you have to decide, what kind of person are you? Are you a person who is easily drawn off your path, or are you a person who is steady in your decisions, in your path? Are you a person who is easily, let down by people? Or are you a person who is totally dependent on how you decide your day should be? So number one is make a decision. Let's talk about the mechanisms of making a decision. Okay. So my question for you right now is, where are you right now in your life? Where are you right now in your life? I would say that you're here at this presentation and you're joined Forever today because you want to know where you're going, right? You want to have something in your life. You're looking to achieve something in your life, right? So the next question, where am I right now, but to go where I want to go, what do I need to change right now? What do I need to change? Is there anything in your life that you have to tweak, change, adjust, right? Now, that is the second question you need to ask yourself, right? And I don't want you to write it. If you want, you can do it, but just write it down for yourself. For many people, what they're looking for is financial freedom, which is great. There is actually a what do you call, Charles, remind me what's the English word for gravstøtte?
Tombstone.
Sorry?
The tombstone.
A tombstone. There is a tombstone. There is a tombstone in one of the cemeteries here, and in the tombstone it's written, "I have been rich, I have been poor. Trust me, rich was better." I have been rich, I have been poor, but trust me, rich was better. Because financial freedom is a mechanism that we have on this earth so that we can find freedom to choose exactly the life we want to live, right? Travels, or to have more time, right? These are just few things. Some people want, they want their children to have a better education. Some people want to, maybe they're looking for better health. Some people are looking to be a part of a community. It's up to you. It's all up to you because, it's you. You're the master of your life, right? At the same time, when we want something, there is also, like Charles said, things that we don't want, right? Things that we don't want, like I spoke about, and that can be, you have a landlord that you need to pay, or you have your mortgages, you have your health bills, you have your phone bill, you have your financial challenges that you have, right? And very often it can feel like those financial challenges is overpowering. As a human being, we can feel those challenges. It could be health challenges, it could be an ex-wife, an ex-husband, I don't know. We're all different, we have different challenges in life, right? It can be political challenges, like many people in the Middle East are experiencing right now, right? Can be so many different challenges that we're experiencing. But again, it is your ability to make your decision, right? On the decision is what's going to change your life. And I usually say there is emotional decisions, and then there is pragmatic decisions. Okay, when it comes to emotional decisions, they should be long-term decisions, like, what's your perspective with forever? Are you looking at 3 to 5 years? Like, I attended school, became a teacher. It took me about 4 years, right? It gave me a lot of debt when I was finished school. And teachers don't pay, it's not a very good payment either. When you become a teacher, it's not good salary, right? So when I finished school, I knew that I had to work for a long time to pay off my student loans and debt that I had, right? But luckily I had forever. So 3 to 4 years with forever, it made me financially independent and helped me travel the world and help my family and achieve my goals and dreams and ambitions. That was the difference. So you have to look at forever as an educational perspective, like you're going to take, like you're going to start at school or something, right? Same thing. You need to decide how much do you want to earn the next few months, right? How much would be enough for you to pay off your debts or to have a comfortable life? $1,000, $2,000 a month, maybe $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, right? I would write it down, because the clearer you are on what you want, the clearer you are, the higher the chances are for you to achieve it. The more unclear, if you don't have any proper financial goals written down in paper, black and white, right? It's a bit fading. It's a bit your subconscious mind cannot fathom it, right? Because your conscious mind can say whatever you want to, but it's your subconscious mind that matters. And the more you write down something, the more you observe it and see it, and more you tell it to the closest people in your family or friends or whatever, the stronger those goals and those visions become, and the more solutions you find to achieve those goals. What is the position in forever that you want to achieve if you want financial freedom? What is the position? You have to link, what we saw as what we saw as these numbers to which position. If you want to have a couple of $1,000 at least a month, you have to become a manager. Because when you become manager, you have max percentages on whatever that you retail, and you max percentages from your team. It starts up your life, and the higher you achieve, the higher you go, senior manager, soaring, sapphire, diamond, sapphire, and so on, the more financial freedom you will achieve. It's as simple as that. It's linked to this system. That's why this system is built. And then when you have those long-term dreams, you have to start to look at the short-term ones. So how is your Christmas going to be this year? Where are you at Christmas time this year? Are you going to celebrate with your family because you have achieved manager, senior manager, maybe sapphire manager, or maybe soaring? Maybe you've done your eagle this year, right? But just take a second right now. Take a second, and just have that feeling that it's Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. You're with your family, and you're just going crazy because you've achieved some of the greatest goals that you've set for your life. When you feel that sensation, it becomes emotional. You anchor it into your life, and it starts the journey to give you solutions to go and get it. Where are you going to be in October? Why October? Because October will be, it's like a few months from now. It's going to be an indication for you. In October, it's going to be an indication for you, right? Of where you want to be. And then you set monthly goals, weekly goals, and then here's the kicker, daily goals. Nothing matters if you do not have daily goals, right? So here are some of the ideas that I want to give you. How quickly can you achieve 4 cc's, 5 cc's every month? Here in Norway, a lot of us, we actually work for 5 cc's rather than 4 cc's, right? But if you have 4 cc's, it's more than adequate to have a stability in your business, right? How many people are you going to talk to every month, every week, every day in order to achieve your goals? How many seminars will you attend? How many success days or global rallies, if you can attend them, what are you willing to do to achieve your dreams? What are you willing to do to achieve your dreams? Okay. So here's my question. When you have written down everything that you want to achieve in your life with Forever, since this is a Forever event right now, a Forever Zoom meeting, when you have written down everything that you want to achieve in your life, right? Sit down and look at it and ask yourself this question. Would you have started in your team with the goals and activities you have? Do you want, would you have started in your team? Would you? Is it attractive enough for you? That's a question that you need to ask. Is it attractive? Your dreams needs to be attractive for you to feel it, to work for it, okay? And then the next step, when you have written down your decisions, you have committed emotionally, you have to prepare. You have to prepare your decision. Talk to your husband, your wife, your kids, your parents. Prepare them, tell them, listen, I am going for this dream. Within 3 months, I want to achieve manager. Okay, and I need your support. I need even if you have a negative family member, just tell them, listen, I'm okay that you're negative with me, right? I'm okay that you're negative with me, but just don't be negative with me for 3 months. After 3 months, if I don't achieve my dreams, then you can be negative with me. But give me 3 months so that I can prove to you, and mostly to myself, I don't have nothing to prove to you, but for myself, give me a chance, right? After 3 months, you can be as negative as you want to, right? Speak to your, whoever that is in your life that has some saying, just prepare them so that you commit them and you commit yourself to achieve your dreams, okay? Communication is crazy good. Okay, next step, which is the ticker, right, is taking action. I think a lot of people, they're amazing at setting goals and talking about what they want to do, but there are very few people who are action takers. I truly believe that everything that you will achieve in your life, everything, that anybody would achieve in your life. Like anything, if you want to travel, if you want money, you want beautiful cars, beautiful house, whatever, it doesn't matter. It belongs to the action taker, right? I'll show you how to take action with purpose. Okay, I'll show you right now how to take action with purpose. Hold on, let me just adjust it. Let's set, if it's okay with you guys, let's set a 3-month goal. Okay, a 3-month goal. Let's say, this is an example. I would truly speak to your leader, your closest leader, Dan, for example. Speak to Dan, Salome, and set a goal. First month, 20 cc's, example. What do you need to do to achieve 20 cc's? Recruit 5 FBOs who has minimum 2 cc's, have 4 cc's personally. Now that's 14 cc's, but the activity that you put in to achieve those cc's would give you at least 20 cc's. Does that make sense? And then you have to decide that you're going to join, or you're going to be a part of 4, at least 10 hours of seminars, webinars, trainings, because you have to keep your motivation, your inspiration alive, right? You have to keep your motivation and inspiration. You can't go to church just one day and say, I've been there, I've done that, I don't need to be, I don't need to go there every Sunday. I've already done it. It's not that hard. You have to maintain that part of your life so that you have that connection in your life. It's the same with forever. Okay. Now, I'm just going to show you these numbers. It doesn't mean much right now, but I'm going to show you these numbers because it will mean something for you in the future, a lot. Okay. If you just can get 3 people, 3 FBOs to duplicate what you're doing right now, right? If you just get 3 people to duplicate what you're doing right now, the second month, you will achieve at least 50 cc's. My calculation shows that you achieve at least 52 cc's actually. If you just duplicate what you did the first month. And then you do the same the third month and you become a manager. You become a really good manager. Not only do you become a manager, you become a manager that is very close to becoming financially independent, and you have a really good full-time income that is going to help you achieve a lot of stuff in your life. This is the 3-month goal that I've driven to my team in many, many years, and created multiple managers because of this philosophy. But again, here's the kicker. It's easy to set goals, but here is where the kicker is. Now, write up your goals for 3 months, and then as soon as you do it, just forget month 2 and 3. Just forget it. Have it as a picture, but don't even think about it. Don't contemplate on it. Don't dream away in month 2 and 3. Just focus on month 1. Actually, put 100% focus on 1 month. Actually, put 100% focus on week 1. Actually, put 100% focus on day 1. Actually, put 100% focus on hour 1. Let me ask you this question. If you want to recruit 5 people now in March, 5 people with 2 cc's, how many people do you need to speak to? How many people do you need to speak to? I would really recommend sit down, like just after this event, or even during your, I'm speaking now, just write down how many people you want to speak to. Okay? And you're already there. And you make a decision on how many people you want to speak to. How many people are you going to call up and book in a meeting with every day? The power of now. The biggest secret to success is finding a way to be in the moment. Basically, stay in the moment so that you can focus on what you have to do. I read a book recently. It's about habits of billionaires, right? And one of the habits that is very kind of common for like all the billionaires in that book is that they had 3 things that they wanted to focus on every day, 3 achievements, actions that they want to take every day. And they set their life to achieving those 3 things, period. Nothing else matters. Those 3 assignments, daily assignments, have to be done. That was their achievement, and they did it, and they became billionaires, right? Here's the third one that I want to focus on really quickly. Get immune to the word no. Let me say that again. Get immune to the word no. This is how it works. Success is very simple if you think about it. You start working, you start working, right? You go out and speak to somebody about forever. Guess what? There is a high probability that they say no. Has anybody experienced that somebody says, no, that's not for me, or it's a pyramid scheme, or it's one of those companies? You probably heard it before. But here's the secret. You continue speaking to another person. But what most people do is that when they hear a no or two, they quit. They don't understand the mechanism of success. You continue speaking to people. That's the only way you can achieve it. You get more negativity, and then you get more skepticism, and then you get a yes. Finally, after 50 no's, you get a yes. And then sometimes you get a maybe. Maybe is very often no, right? Sometimes people say yes and they say maybe, and then they say no afterwards. Or sometimes people say no and they say yes afterwards, right? Some people say never, and then there are even more no's and even more negativism, skepticism. And then, among those no's, there are some yeses there. You put those in, and then a couple of more no's and a couple of more yeses. And when you collect all this together, you multiply all this together, and you call it success, right? The secret is not in the yes, no, or negativity or positivity. The secret is in the plus. It's the next, it's the next, it's the next. Does that make sense? It's the next, right? That's it. That's where the secret. You have to be between everything. That's where the success is. Between everything. That's where the success is. Right, guys? Focus on the betweens, right? And then invest time in your ambitions. That's my last message for you today. Invest time in your ambitions. Because if you're not investing time in your ambitions, you're investing time in your excuses. There's nothing in between, right? Either you want something or you're finding an excuse not to achieving it. Either you're achieving or working towards something, you're finding an excuse not to work towards it. That's how it works. It's very simple. You have to invest more of your energy so that that energy multiplies to create inspiration, so that you can stick more than 50% of the time you live on the side of ambition. Okay? How do you do that? To start with, I would really recommend being a part of all the meetings, business opportunity meetings, success days, Eagle retreats, whatever that you can achieve, right? Or whatever you can be a part of it. Like this event right here, be a part of it. We are recording this. Listen to this again later so that you get some inspirations, get some ideas on the philosophies that we are trying to talk about here, right? Be a part of this. I know that 80% of success in our industry comes from events and meetings. 80%, because that's where you find your why. That's where you find your inspiration. That's where you find somebody that you can look up to. We all need it, right? And then what happens? I'll tell you what happens. Has anybody here been on a merry-go-round? Has anybody been on a merry-go-round? Yeah? So I actually, when I was a young kid, I used to have a part-time job, and one of the people that I was working with, he used to be a merry-go-round conductor in the early 1900s, because he was an old man. This was it was already about 25 plus years ago, and he was at that time 96 years old, that man. And he used to be a merry-go-round conductor. And he said in the old days, the merry-go-rounds that you sit on, camels and horses and elephants and zebras, you sit on, children sit on that. Nowadays, it runs on a motor. But those days, it used to run on manpower. Basically, the merry-go-round conductor was not a conductor. He was actually just pushing the merry-go-round, right? And he said the first round, it's difficult. It's heavy because about 50 kids sitting on those, on those animals, and then he's pushing it, right? There's this kind of a shaft that you kind of push, right? And he says the first round is pretty difficult. And then he says, then there's a second round, which is even harder. And he says the third round is even harder. But then the fourth round is a bit better, right? And then the fifth round is even better. And then the sixth round is better. And then like that, you come to the 10th round, which is the best round so far. And then you eventually come to the 20th round, where you still have to use a little bit of energy, but things are starting to move, right? And then you continue just pushing until you finally just do this. Can you see what I'm doing now, guys? Right? And that is momentum. Momentum. That's where, you go to a family event and you check your CCs, and just while you're at a couple of hours at your family event, your team has created 50 CCs, right? You take a weekend off because you want to spend time with your kids, and then you check your CCs. During that weekend, another 50 CCs has come, or 20 CCs or 10 CCs, without you touching your business, right? That is momentum. And trust me, it always happens if you continue doing the work that you're supposed to do, which is the pluses, just talking to people, recruiting, selling a product, going to an event, joining a Zoom meeting, talking to your sponsor, right? Having another presentation, having a 1-to-1, 2-to-1, having a business presentation, going to a business presentation, having a product launch, going to an event, continue, momentum. Eventually momentum just takes over, and people are joining your team. People are just buying products. You have hundreds of people joining your events. Trust me, it's a beautiful thing, and it will happen. 100% of the time it happens for the people who never gives up. Okay. Oh, this is my football something. Sorry about that. Let's see. Yeah. So that was my message for today. I want to say thank you again. Dan, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Arshad.
Yeah. Do you usually take questions? Hello? Yeah. Anyway, I just want to say thank you. What I want you guys to do is that I would really, really love it if you guys could send your goal for this month. Send your goal for this month to Dan, or to your closest leader, like Salome, that I know. And to your closest leader, I would prefer that you send it to Dan. Actually, send your whatever you want to achieve this year, or this month, actually just this month, to Dan, so that we can take a look and set up a really proper plans to you. And like I promised also a couple of weeks ago, that we are going to run really cool incentives soon. Just stand by. We're going to have some really crazy incentives that you're going to love. Just stand by for that as well. Yeah. I think that's it. That's what we want to speak. Charles, do you have anything that you want to add on?
I'm just grateful to be a part of this group, and I look forward to moving, together with you guys. And the training that you just did now, I think if people act on it, that's what it's all about. It's not about what you think about it or whatever. It's just about acting on it, and do whatever you can, and do it with ambition and intention, and give it your whole heart. It's a price to pay, but it's really worth the travel. Absolutely. Yeah. So thank you so much, Arshad and Dan, for having me on board this conversation.
Yeah, looking forward for the next time as well. I will download this presentation and put it in the group so that we can have it if you need it to share it with your team as well. Dan, do you want to say anything else?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for the presentation. That was really amazing. Actually, I'm so motivated, and I think the team is too. And we just need to take action and have a goal and work through that formula that you have given. And one thing that is true is the fact that when the momentum has been created, it's difficult to get the whole business off the ground. But once the momentum is created, then we will begin to enjoy the benefits. And so I just want to encourage everybody that we need just to
I think your connection is gone away.
this month, and a few of us have already forced CC active by the 15th, and then begin to just sponsor people in our business and continue doing the action irrespective of the outcome. And that momentum, and we'll be grateful. And we in future to just help us to push the business forward. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.
God bless you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, team. Thanks, Charles. Appreciate it. God bless you.
Thank you.